Welcome to another episode of the Marketplace Reviews. This time around I'm going to look at the Cyberpunk weapons by Cosmos by Vertices. This is an expensive and high quality asset pack, but one thing to keep in mind is that they're not rigged, so which is unfortunate and shouldn't be acceptable at this price range. However, the individual parts, functional parts, are included. It normally retails for goes for around $150. However, it is included in the Cyberpunk Giga Pack by Vertices Studios. So, personally, I would have bought the Giga Pack if I knew that it was included there. But whatever. Excuse the out of memory budget thing. Anyways, when you first open the level, you are going to be greeted with this directional light fighting over each other, so you have to change the priority of each. I'm going to change the floor color to be something more visible. As you can see, the weapons. This is the crossbow. I was surprised that it was a crossbow. There are a couple of rifles that are included. I think it's around 5 rifles. As you can see, the barrel is not rifled, which is strange. I mean, it's okay for the shotguns, but for rifles, the barrels should have been rifled. As you can see, the details do not break even when you're up close. And if you have noticed, there are like the same model gets repeated 3 times. That's because for each weapon there are at least 3 themes included, which are the military camo, and military, and the normal one. That mesh does have a problem. That's camo texture of it. There is some blurry part of it. I hope it gets fixed. And there is this problem with these scopes that they're not masked and just are opaque. Only I think 1 or 2 meshes were. Yeah, this one is masked. Also, yeah, this mesh has problem on its handle. The size and the handle, the military and camo are included, but not the stock, or how we can say the default material texture is not included. I hope it should get fixed, hopefully. There's also handguns. However, the handguns are rifled, and the barrels are rifled for them. I don't know why in the world the rifles were did not have that. Maybe an oversight. And another note is that all of the meshes in the showcase level are the combined mesh. So you have to look at the folder for individual meshes, and these kind of like melee weapons are also included. These are, like I said, only static meshes. We are going to into the lightning mode to look at the mesh, the modeling of the meshes. I think it's pretty good. Switching back and forth between the detail normal to see the difference when you're with the normal map and the other maps. Also forgot to mention, but the download size is about 5.2 gigabytes. Now, one problem with this pack is the material slots or material IDs. Now, as you know, one extra material equals 1 extra draw call, and most of them have a lot of materials. Look at this one, and some of them are just repeated. I mean, it happens when you merge the meshes in UE. So there are some ways to reduce it. Whatever, as you can see, these are the UVs. There's like some out of bound UVs, but that doesn't make any difference because the place that it gets like tiled after 1 back to 0 and 1, so it's like they're back to 0 and 1. However, if you are a clean freak like me, you can shift it 1 by 1 to the left, like I just did. But doesn't make any difference as far as I know. Now the texture resolutions, there are like 257 2K textures, and for 4K textures there are like 274 and a couple of 1K. So it's really high quality, and as you saw, it's made for cinematic quality. Now the master materials are two. One of them is for the opaque and the other is for masked. They're neatly made, and the actual functions have been like compacted into material functions, which is really nice. Yeah, however, most of them, like I said, are divided in different parts. That glove is not, and for species, unfortunate. I really wanted it to be separated into functional parts. As you can see, even the ejector, the hammer, like almost all of the functional parts of each weapon is separated. So, which actually makes it usable for VR, in that sense that like you can, or as far as I know, most of the weapons in VR are static. Most of the time are static meshes that are combined with different pieces. And here I just animated this by some sloppy animation, but there is the problem: the individual parts have wrong pivots. Like it's good when you place it in the blueprint, but for to be functional, that's wrong. Here you can see one of the guns from their Western pack, and the pivots are all in the correct position. It should have been like the individual parts should have been in the correct pivot, plus the blueprints of each weapon assembled should have been provided, like the Western gun pack. Here's the like there is the problem. This there is an extra mesh that can be removed, but that problem is with the it should have been the other part of the other material, but whatever. As you can see, if the part is small, it's usually uses 2K texture. If it's larger, it's most of the time 4K. Now, as I said, you can build this from the individual parts. So here is where we're going to look at the material instance parameters. Just to know that the textures are packed into base color, ORM, and normal. The ORMs are usual PBR things. However, in this scope, the base color does have the masked in the alpha, and the emissive was also included. I don't know why it wasn't included in the emissive by itself. Like one of the channels of the emissive could have housed that. Here you can see the normal map intensity, which you can like increase it, or say I think you can even invert it if you put in minus color, minus number. Here we can change the ambient occlusion factor, roughness. If you change it to multiplied by a little amount, it's going to make it reflective. Here's the opacity. You can change it. If you increase the number, you can make it opaque. Then these are the usual parameters. I think it's good for what it is. It has enough parameters, not super rich, but it gives some options to change it, to add some varieties. Then we can use an additional mask for changing the base color. Now I'm going to use texture, a noise texture, to change some of the color, and you're going to see the final product. How you can, in some ways or another, you can, depending on the texture you provide, add some variety, like you can add some customization to the weapon itself, which is really nice. That's a nice addition. If you look at the whole mesh, look, it has. Now you may see, you may wonder why it's not that detailed. Well, that's probably the noise's fault because it's not high resolution to make it like sharp edges. You can use another set of textures. I think you can use different UVs for that as well. The master material supports that, but I don't think it's necessary for this pack. Vertices are, most of them are less than even 10,000, and the ones that are above 10,000 are usually the assembled pieces, the assembled parts. Now, here's another example of wrong pivot, which is really unfortunate. Not only is not rigged, but the pivots are wrong. You will have to change a lot of things to make it functional, which shouldn't be considering the price. Now it does have LODs, so different kind of LODs. It may not be apparent. I'm going to go into the wireframe mode. So there is that. Looking at the collisions, they're like complex, not complex, sorry, but convex. They're not accurate, neither. I doubt they're that performant. I doubt. Now I'm going to show you not a trick, but an easy way to add collisions using the modeling mode inside the Unreal Engine itself, which is really quite easy and quite possibly really accurate. We need a test. I think we're going to go with this again. I'm gonna duplicate it just in case. I don't wanna change the so we can compare it. So here is the duplicated one. We're going to go into the modeling mode and remove the collision of this mesh. Now the modeling mode, the section for the collisions is in the volumes. Now first let's show the collision here and make sure that we remove it. Go into collision and then remove collision. Now we don't have any collision on this. Now let's duplicate it. Then click both of them, like control click, so we have both of them selected, and then mesh to collision. That's the one that you're looking for. As you can see, it's just one little box. Okay, we changed it to the input mode to per mesh component. So as you can see, each component that comprises of this that makes up this mesh gets its own collision. You can change the shape instead of cubes or boxes, or you can change it to capsules. Oriental boxes, although I don't like it. I prefer the aligned boxes more. There's also the convex hull option, which is, I think, is the most accurate, but probably the most expensive as well out of the bunch. The aligned box gives a really nice balance, and you can decrease the maximum amount of the collision boxes. So for example, if we just want this and don't want it for the smaller parts, so we can limit it. So it all depends on what your on your need, on your collision needs and stuff. So yeah, you can compare the accuracy of these two, and this is much more accurate. No, although not super accurate, but like just comparing, much better and much easy. So I don't know why even like the sellers use auto-generated collision when there is this kind of option in the engine. I don't know. So that's my thought. I think it's overpriced, although it really looks nice, and there is no doubt about it. Like cinematic quality, definitely. Things that I wish were improved would be, of course, being rigged, although they say that it might get rigged, or they may work on it, but don't take their word for it, because they also said that for some of their other weapon packs, and still to this day, as far as I know, I don't see any update for those packs. So yeah, if you're getting the weapon pack separately, don't count on it being rigged in the future, although it might, I don't know. So if you get it, make sure that you know what you're getting, so you don't regret buying it. Personally, I wouldn't say I regret buying it, but if I knew it was like it would be like this, I probably wouldn't have bought it personally. But that's just personal. I mean, I could have bought another weapon pack, or there are lots of weapon packs on the marketplace that are rigged and are a fraction of the cost here. Now, if you're getting, I suggest you wait for like 50% or even 70% sale. They might go on sale. I mean, it has already been on sale for that much. So and if you're getting it, probably you'd probably save more if you get the Giga Pack. You get meshes and vehicles with it, so it's much better price to performance wise. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.